A very good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Trends. Lina and I will be holding it down this hour, making sure that you get up to speed with all that's been trending in and around the art and entertainment scenes. This week, the world is celebrating and paying tribute to Madiba by interacting in their communities and giving back in honor of his legacy. Today's show is continuing with these celebrations by highlighting his centennial birthday through the arts. Interact with us on @Trends on SABC and let us know how you celebrated his legacy. We kick-started the show with a video by legendary South African musician Ali Katt, who will be laid to rest today. The 60-year-old died earlier this week after suffering a stroke 4 years ago.
Ali Katt, whose real name is Albert Moroa Chetla, started his music career in the 70s. But his big break in the music industry came in the late 80s. 1987 to be precise, with the release of his hit song titled Let the Good Times Roll, featuring on his debut album Have Mercy.
I'm so glad that you are here with me tonight. It's gonna take a few more hours, but it will last your whole life long. So let the good times roll.
A year later, he dropped another single titled Killer, a tribute to the conjoined Matibela twins. The song topped local charts. Ali Katt is survived by his sister and 2 children.
I belong to you. I belong to you. I belong.
The digital age comes with a whole lot of opportunities. Our case in point, image distortion or photo editing, which I'm sure almost all of us are guilty of. And I know some of you must be sitting thinking you're not, but no, honey, I've seen your filters on the gram. You're definitely guilty, and so am I. So beauty giant Dove is stepping up and saying no to digital image distortion, meaning all of their images will showcase women as they are in real life, naturally beautiful, as part of their self-esteem project. So we asked the fans their thoughts on the issues and we ran a poll. Let's see what they had to say about it. So we put up a question saying, do you love natural beauty? Should the media stop distorting digital images to make women beautiful? Tell us what you think. And 78% said stop the Photoshop, and 22% says they love picture editing. So I guess we'll keep tracking that poll and seeing what you all think of this Love Dove self-esteem project that is happening through the Dove campaign. So award-winning actress Terry Peto will take the lead in a brand new international film titled Faces. The film will premiere to the world right here on home ground at the Durban International Film Festival, which kicked off this week. Take a look.
Good morning, my love. Surprise!
What's wrong?
Faces is multi-narrative as it tells 4 stories alongside each other while the characters' lives begin to unravel.
Get your shit and get out.
What do you want me to do? My parents created this situation.
Directed by the award-winning British-Nigerian director Joseph Adosolonye, the film was shot in London and features a range of high-profile actors.
Well, Ariana Grande this week dropped her latest single and amazing video just hours later, hailed as the best music visual she has created to date. Take a look.
How Helmed by the singer's go-to director as of late, Dave Meyers, the video is a visual feast that features classical art, cosmic imagery, and a helmeted Grande throwing what looks like a giant judge's gavel through a literal glass ceiling. The video delivers striking images with Grande weathering insults launched at her by a group of white men, bathing nude in pastel-colored paints and breaking it down at the center of a massive gospel choir.
Wow, beautiful visuals indeed. Now, Idol Season 13 winner Paxton has gone international. The 17-year-old pop star is performing at Russia's biggest cultural festival, the White Nights of St. Petersburg, which will be broadcast on the country's national television channel. Take a look.
In November 2017, she shot to stardom by winning South African Idol Season 13, followed by a manic touring schedule through to February 2018. The festival runs from the 20th to the 22nd of July. Phyllis is set to arrive back from her latest excursion on the 24th of July and go straight into touring with Karen White in Marmalade Productions' Divas 2018.
Done, Paxton. Katy Perry will set the stage alight one final time right here in Johannesburg at the Ticket Pro Dome. It is the first time the pop diva has toured in South Africa and has already wowed fans with 2 sold-out shows, and tonight will mark her final performance, a date that had to be added to accommodate the demand.
On Wednesday, the songstress donned a red hooded glitter ensemble as she serenaded fans with her sinful sounds. The tour, titled Witness, is an imaginative trip from outer space to inner space, from the planets to the bottom of the oceans, and a musical journey through Katy Perry's biggest milestones and the mega hits right up to her latest album.
Environmentalists have hit back at luxury clothing brand Burberry, who have burned over 450 million rand worth of unsold clothing and accessories last year. According to the brand, the practice is necessary to protect the exclusivity of the brand.
The British-based brand has been a huge target for counterfeiters who create inferior copies of the product and sell it at a substantially lower price. Burning of unsold goods in the fashion industry is a common practice to prevent the products being sold off cheaply or stolen. But environmentalists are not letting up and firmly believe that it is negatively affecting the environment and is a huge waste.
Definitely a waste. They could just give me some of those garments. Well, the Market Theatre in Johannesburg hosted Letters from Mandela, which is a special theatre production in celebration of Nelson Mandela's centennial celebrations. Conceived and directed by James Ngcobo, the stage production captures Madiba's raw emotions through letters he wrote to his family and friends when he was in prison for 27 years. The Market Theatre has been the only theatre in the world authorized to screen the letters on stage.
Featuring an all-star cast, Mandela's letters to his wife, children and sisters are told through dance, music, reading and poetry.
The magistrate of Brantford refuses her permission to leave the district for more than 1 day. For this reason, she is unable to visit the island for 2 successive days.
They reveal the pain the former statesman felt when he was separated from his loved ones while serving time in prison.
Well, way back when Madiba passed in 2013, Dr. James Ngcobo came through to us and said, look, we need to celebrate Madiba in theater. And maybe we can use his letters and act them out. And I remember I was pretty reluctant. I wasn't sure what's this gonna look like? You know, so what he then did was to come up with a script, and he worked very closely with some of my colleagues to do the script. And then he did it for the first time when we marked the first anniversary of Madiba's passing in 2014. And I remember thinking, wow, this was a beautiful production, you know. So we then tried to popularize it so that it could then travel the country.
In one of the letters, Madiba wrote about his grief when he heard about his son's death whilst incarcerated, and described the pain he felt when he could not attend the funeral. Madiba's letters also describe pain, loss, love, and hope, amongst other things, put together in a stunning performance by James Ngcobo.
So I have taken these letters and I've just put them in a basket really and created a production around them with a whole lot of actors and singers and dancers and personalities from the medium, just to make sure that a historical moment like this, the centenary of this great man, is something that is really part of our memory. And when I say memory in the continuum, we are very much excited at the Market Theatre Foundation by being really the only theatre in the world that has been given permission to stage these letters.
This production hopes to ignite hope for many South Africans and also to celebrate the life and times of Madiba.
I'm just stuck here in a dream.
Take me back. Hey. Hey.
I'm just stuck here.
Just take me back. Hey. Just take me back. Take me back. Just take me back. All I really want you to do is just take me back. All I want you to do is just take me back. I don't know if I'ma make it back home, but take me back. Just take me back. Take me back.
Well, Motsako's first lady, Fifi Cooper, is at it again. She's here to perform her new single, Zwagala, and is here to tell us more about her upcoming album, her new lease on being able to perform the tracks from her former stable, and of course, all things on running her new record company called Mo Cooper Records. Welcome to TRENDZ, Fifi. How are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Well, you look great. I mean, after everything that Ambitious has put you through this past year, you've literally just come out on top. Tell us a bit about what we should be looking forward to when it comes to your new project that's coming up.
I am dropping a 21-track album next month, Women's Month, in loving memory of Mama Winnie, because I feel like this year we lost a soldier. And for me, it's a way of like celebrating. My fans have been waiting for the music for so long. And also just saying thank you to the EFF with like helping me with the case. So it's going to be incredible. We're going to have a tour the whole of August and September for the album, and we're going to be selling my new merchandise. Hint, hint, new merch dropping.
Hey now.
Fifi Cooper clothing line, you know. So there's a whole lot coming, and I'm very excited. The album is late. It's called Take Me Back, so people must really watch out for that.
Let's talk a bit on the Ambitious thing, like, and what happened when you were the only one who was actually singled out, and they were like, you can't perform your music. How did you feel, and literally what have you been doing in the months when you weren't able to go and perform your music?
I mean, I have a child back at home, so I will always, you know, find a way of making money so that I can take care of my son. So I did like a lot of, you know, last year I did a show with SABC one called Break the Beat, and I worked with Converse for like the whole of last year. We're still working together now, and you know, there's a whole lot of things things that I'm doing now. I'm running my own record label. And you know, what they did to me, I was very happy because I felt like everything happens for a reason, you know. I had to grow, I had to learn, and God chose his toughest soldiers to go through life's toughest battles.
Right.
That's why I think they chose me, because I'm a boss now.
Yes, tell us about being a boss. Are you planning on signing on people? What's the plan with Mo Cooper Records?
Definitely. Right now, I'm just, you know, trying to focus on like the brand Fifi Cooper and dropping the album. Once I'm done with that, obviously I would like to. I do have one artist called Easy Lab, and I think I would want to sign one more artist, you know. But everything will just fall into place at the right time. I believe that God's timing is perfect timing.
Were you waiting for this case to be resolved before dropping your album, or
yeah,
is there some
you know,
coincidence
I
there?
needed my, you know, clearance, and the case was really taking most of my time. You know, I had to always be with lawyers, you know. It was really dragging me even emotionally because it was happening in the public. So it really took a lot of my time and a lot of my strength. So I'm glad that now that chapter is finally closed, and now we're about to open a very, very interesting chapter.
But even though they took your time, how did you manage to do 21 tracks in all that time?
I think the best thing for an artist is to have your own studio, so you can record whenever you want to. So most of the tracks, like in the album, most of the tracks are really inspired by like what's been happening, literally, you know. So maybe if I wake up and I see Ambitious gave my page to a new girl at Ambitious, I get inspired to get in the studio and write a song called Pages. So that's how I do my music. I literally write about what's happening. So you can tell that I've been writing because there's been, like, things have been happening for me, positively and negatively. But I'm one person. I always take a positive out of a negative. And I always thank God for every moment, because I allow myself to go an extra mile, just to prove to, you know, upcoming artists that you can still do it on your own. You know, if you believe and if you trust in your craft, you can go far.
Speaking of upcoming artists, are you gonna stick to your original sound, or are you gonna try to adapt with the new sound that's also put out there?
I call the album Take Me Back, right? Because I felt like when I was signed, I lost myself. People were now confusing me. They were like, I'm a trap queen. And I'm just literally saying, take me back to Motsako's first lady. But we elevated now. I'm Motsako's boss lady now. So yes. I'm still, you know, fusing Motsako with what's happening. I always want to accommodate everyone. On my album, I have a traditional song. I have a gospel song with Zola. It's just a whole lot of like different sounds and genres and melodies, and also that I have like upcoming artists also on the album. It's amazing because they're hungry now. They come with like amazing sounds, and you know, I like working with different people. That's how I also grow as an artist.
But someone that you always keep there, that you always work with, is TRENDZ Mwasi, because he does all your visuals. Man. And you just dropped a video called Freedom. Tell us a bit about that and the concept.
I always keep my relationships, you know. I'm very loyal. And if you're loyal to me, I will forever be loyal to you. I mean, TRENDZ shot my music videos when I was still signed, and he's the only person that really understands me when it comes to like what I would want for a video. So I'm very comfortable working with him. That's why you see like he's the only, you know, person shooting my music videos. But going forward also, I'm gonna work with different people, you know, as I grow, and you know, give other people opportunities. Like, it's great.
And what's Freedom about? The concept of freedom?
I feel like a lot of people are asking for freedom. You don't know, women are being abused. There's a whole lot of things happening, and this was my way of like asking for freedom, because now I couldn't perform my songs. I felt like literally I'm in jail, you know. I couldn't do anything, so I was really, you know, telling the people that we really all want that freedom, you know. It's a very beautiful, emotional song as well. When I wrote it, I was literally overwhelmed. It was after I got the call from Tata Julius about the case, and I was really excited that finally somebody is coming to help me.
And Zwagala is the single that you are still to drop on digital streams.
Yes,
tell us a bit about
it.
Platforms.
next week. So I feel like I've been dropping sad songs ever since I left. I dropped Power of Gold, Take Me Back, Freedom. People are tired of that. I feel like now we need to go back to, you know, Fifi Cooper, so I need to go back there and make people dance. It's all about having fun now. The court case is over. Like I said, we closed that chapter. Now we are back to the music. So
yeah, so definitely, Zwagalo, we're done talking about the ambitious stuff. Now we're concentrating on Mo Cooper Records, all the artists that you're going to be signing up on that, and your album that's coming up, Take Me Back. I get it. When is the album being dropped?
Next month.
Okay.
I'm going to release a promo video. That's when people are going to know the exact date of the album drop. So for now, just know that it's next month. Hashtag Women's Month. Hashtag Take Me Back album. Hashtag RIP Mama Winnie.
Well, we definitely can't wait to hear your performance. That was Fifi Cooper telling us about all things new in her career with her new record label, with the artist that she plans on signing, and her new single, of course, that she's going to be performing later on in the show. Now, spectacular football is not the only thing that got soccer lovers glued to their screens during this year's Soccer World Cup that was held in Russia. Funky and colorful hairstyles by soccer players also took center stage. TRENDZ producer Puleng Mulabati took to the streets of Johannesburg to check out which World Cup-inspired hairstyles are also making the rounds this winter season. Take a look.
If you're not a big soccer fanatic such as myself, but you did catch the 2018 World Cup fever, don't worry, you probably are still suffering from the soccer fever. But if you're not all about the eye candy, today I'm here to introduce you to all the madness that happened with the hair. So forget about the eye candy, let's talk about the hair in the 2018 World Cup soccer. I'm here in Sandton to talk all things hair, what trends are happening this season, and if you can adapt the soccer hairstyle into your own everyday life. And who knows, some guy might teach me a thing or two about soccer. Who says hair and soccer cannot mix? Let's go check it out. What inspired your hairstyle?
Ronaldo.
So do you usually keep short hair?
Yes, I like short hair.
Now I can see you adding lines and designs to your short hair. Do women do this kind of hairstyles where they decorate their short hair?
Yes, they do. I saw it most on internet. I just want to go, just to have a different look.
So what are we doing here?
Yeah, I'm doing natural haircuts. I want to do dye and treat the scalp because most of people are sweating in the scalp. So when you do color, so not only you have to get dry, you have to treat the color on the same time.
If a man who has an afro wants to embrace their afro and do different styles with their afro, what kind of hairstyles can they do?
Yeah, I can give you maybe fade cuts, we'll fade the sides and keep it on top and play with the color, you know, do black, color it, blonde, all the color you need. You can also do S-scale on the same hair, it's called the natural hair.
Wow, okay, this looks good. I am now convinced you can rock this type of hairstyle on a daily basis. You don't have to be somewhere in Russia playing for the World Cup to rock this hairstyle. I want to speak to you, though, the model, you, Terry. So do you think that this hairstyle is going to help you score with the ladies?
Firstly, I didn't do it for that. But I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know. I will see.
Neymar is the one that rocked blonde hair. The longer the hair, the colorful the hair, the more he stands out. Do we see a lot of guys doing these kinds of hairstyles in SA?
Yes. Yeah. Most of the guys, they do these hairstyles because of when they're watching Neymar playing, doing his style.
What are the winter hair trends? Like, what are the hair trends this season?
The hair trends, I'm seeing a lot of wigs. I think also because of the natural hair movement. A lot of people are going back to their natural hair, but they also want to be able to switch up their styles. So if they want to have the long straight hair the one day, they will opt for the wig. But then if they want to rock their natural hair, then they take the wig off and they rock the natural hair. That's for the ladies. For the guys, it's just your normal haircuts. We do have a lot of clients coming in with pictures of soccer stars. You know, it's not just even for World Cup. So they bring us all these pictures. They want to do like this. They want a hairstyle like Cristiano Ronaldo. They want one like Neymar. So you always have to be on top of what, you know, what people are seeing out there and be able to do the styles that they see.
Right,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I call this hair Africa meets France. I don't know what you think. But anyway, thank you so much for having us today. Africa didn't make it to the World Cup. Next time we are going for the jugular.
Yes.
Bye.
Well, we definitely love Puleng's Africa Meets France. We have Fifi Cooper on standby that's going to be performing her latest single called Zwagala from her upcoming album that she's going to be dropping in August. She's going to be taking it away to break. Take it away, Fifi.
It's crack on the beat, boy.
Boss lady. Zwagala, Zwagala, Zwagala. Get you in my game when I was down wide. I got everything planned. I took away. Dito patahana fandam. I took away. Dito patahana fandam. All I'm not trying to you come with a better plan. Be a better man, and you always gotta be aware. Man, tonight I'm trying to spend all these Mandela too much, man. I think I need a rubber band. Too long I call it, says figure again. Dalunga water, same figure again. It's in the water, I kinda understand. Faded no, Juba Baya, Juba cover that. Cause we gon' party all night until we shop out the lights on my baby. It's crazy how ready can I who fit tell la le kaba my baby. Send out people across tonight, Rabu Juba way. Feeling myself, I so away. I so away. I hope it will not this, so please. Here we got some Zwagala. Zwagala, get you to live my gang when I was gone wide. I got everything planned. I so away. Dito patahana fanda Zwagala. I so away. Dito patahana fanda Zwagala. From mid city with easy navigating to the city back seat. Cooler boss, got on a teddy. Now who's in it? So we came hot up to my side the party. We about to party. They come get kaki. Get bought my old leg, the monte kaki. But my bonte, bablo, mega monte. Having a good time, cojote. Ain't no party like a Mark Cooper party, cause a Mark Cooper party don't stop. And my moment too loud, and my pockets too loud. Ika ching ching, he come out, Zwagala. They don't tip across tonight, Rabu Juba way. Feeling myself, I so away. Hey, so away. I give back the hand, so please. Hey, where's got to Zwagala? Zwagala, get you to live my game when I was gone wide. I got everything planned. Hey, so away. Dito patahana fandam.
We have the Protea Glen Boys and Girls Club on standby to give us a glimpse of what we can expect to see at the 7th edition of the International Marimba and Steelpan Festival, which will be held at St. Dominic's Catholic School for Girls in Boksburg next week. Take it away. Well, 80 institutions from all over Southern Africa is coming together to compete and share their love for music at the 7th Annual International Marimba and Steelpan Festival that is also paying tribute to Utata Nelson Mandela, curated by Education Africa in partnership with the St. Dominic's Catholic School for Girls in Boksburg. The festival will be held on the 28th and 29th of July. We're now joined by the festival director, Joan Lithgow, who's here to tell us more about this festival. Welcome to Trends.
Hi, thank you. It's
How you
lovely
doing?
to be here. Absolutely amazing, yes.
Thank you so much for coming. Well, tell us a bit about the 7th Steelpan Festival, Marimba Steelpan Festival. What should we be expecting?
Well, it's going to be an event to be remembered for sure. There are over 2,000 performers from all over Southern Africa, 80 institutions. We have over 250 performances in the main event, over 90 workshops in the fringe event, and it's going to be buzzing. Absolutely amazing.
And you know that when we look at the marimba, it's not an instrument that is mostly used. Tell us a bit about why Education Africa decided to work on this instrument.
So the marimba is a fantastic instrument because it is easily accessible to most people. You can teach large groups of children at the same time in marimba bands. It has incredible educational values, from social values to building self-esteem, through a whole lot of things that we at Education Africa deem very important in our children's development. You can teach language skills, you can teach math skills, and many, many other things through our program that we run in our marimba hubs. And so we found that the marimba is the instrument of choice, certainly for Africa and for the world, really.
Definitely, if it's bringing 2,000 people in all parts of Southern Africa to this event, what is actually being won at this competition? What's up for grabs?
Okay, there are 21 main prizes, which are trophies, very sought after trophies to be won, and then you can also be regarded as the best marimba band at the festival or the best steelpan band at the festival. And then there are a lot of lovely prizes that sponsors have given us, from keyboards to a marimba to a steelpan, all really amazing prizes.
And let's speak more on the Fringe Festival and who will be coming to speak and do workshops with students.
Right, so we have 90 workshops over 2 days. So you can imagine every hour we've got 6 or 7 different workshops at the same time. One of the highlights definitely will be Jason Jeggles, who will be doing hip-hop classes. Apparently he's phenomenal. He's coming all the way from East London to give 2 hip-hop classes. We have marimba classes with Mike Sibande, and steelpans with Dave Reynolds, who's our steelpan guru in South Africa. And then djembe drums, lots of dancing, gumboot dancing by the DPHS boys from Natal, and gosh, so much more.
So the group that came to perform today is one of the groups that Education Africa has opened up a hub for. Tell us a bit about your project and what do you do when it comes to opening hubs in different communities?
Right, so what we do is we identify a community and we supply instruments and we train teachers in that community. We usually get it into a school or a centre where there's at least 4 or 5 schools in the surrounding area. We identify teachers from those surrounding areas. We train them from scratch how to run a marimba hub, how to teach marimbas. And then Education Africa, myself and my colleague Tami Ngwenya, we go around and we give support for as long as it takes to get those teachers really being very, very good. And the product you just heard, the Protea Glen Boys and Girls Club, they started their hub in 2016, middle of 2016, and the beginning of this year we took them on an overseas tour. And you got to know that their teacher, Puzeletso, is fantastic. She worked jolly hard and she has embraced the whole program and knows exactly how to teach her students, together with our assistants, of course. But you can imagine, don't you think they were absolutely amazing?
They were definitely amazing. I can't wait to see how they're going to infuse, or rather go with the theme that is set out for this year, that's put out to the centennial celebrations of Utata Mandela. Tell us a bit about where we can get the tickets, how to get the tickets, and the details on attending.
Right, we have got a website which is www.internationalmarimbafestival.org. But all you need to do is come to the festival. There are tickets at the gate. Tickets are very reasonably priced. You can get a whole weekend for 200 Rand, which includes all the workshops you want to attend. Or you can just come to the main event, which is 120 Rand for 1 day, or 200 Rand for 2 days. Sorry, if you're coming for the main event, only at 60 Rand a day. And gosh, you know, you're going to be entertained. And it's a real family event. So every child, there's activities for very young children all the way to grannies like myself.
Well, we certainly look forward to it. Thank you so much, Joan, for coming to Trends. Oh, that was Joan Lithgow speaking to us about all things the 7th Annual International Marimba and Steelpan Festival that's taking place at St. Dominic's, right? At St. Dominic's in Boksburg. So do go out there next weekend on Saturday and Sunday and celebrate music and the centenary of the Nelson Mandela's birthday. And as the country and the world marks the centenary of the birth of South African struggle icon Nelson Mandela with a line of various celebrations, Trends producer Olwethu Mabavula visited the Apartheid Museum in the south of Johannesburg, where an extensive art exhibition detailing the life of the statesman and what he stood for is on display. Take a look.
The life of our country's anti-apartheid political leader told through art. And there could not have been a better place to showcase this art exhibition than the Apartheid Museum. It's here where South Africa's 20th century history is illustrated.
The Mandela exhibition, it is divided into 6 themes: character, comrade, leader, prisoner, negotiator, and statesman. Meaning the Mandela exhibition is all about the life of Nelson Mandela, where he was born, his Western education, Mandela is a leader, comrade of ANC, Konto Sizwe. Then also Mandela serving in Robben Island and Victor Vesta and Posmo for 27 years. And also Nelson Mandela negotiating with the apartheid government from early 80s until the first fully democratic elections were being set, 27 April 1994. Then also Mandela is a statesman, the first fully democratic president of South Africa.
This showcase detailing Madiba's life from childhood to his passing features photographs, videos, and artifacts divided into 6 themes from his character, being the statesman, the negotiator, and others.
It's a great history of apartheid in South Africa, and we came here to learn about apartheid, really.
I think actually it's brilliant. We have actually visitors from Holland, and we have brought them here to, and it's my first time, so we thought of what we can show them, and so we've decided on this, and I think it was a brilliant idea, and they are really impressed.
This replica of Madiba's prison cell in Robben Island is a draw cut at this museum. This Mandela exhibition forms part of the permanent artworks showcased here. Smaller fractions of the exhibition are also available in other museums across the country.
The world has been celebrating Madiba's birthday this week by interacting in a series of activities that best portray his legacy. We tagged along with Danny K and Kabelo Mabelane as They Shout Foundation was opening their 10th library in a primary school in Port Elizabeth.
It's no coincidence we're out here opening our 10th Shout Essay Library. We chose this day in particular because I think Madiba is our ultimate influencer. I mean, you know, if you look at anyone in the world who isn't influenced by the work that Nelson Mandela has done, it's very, very hard to find. And I think when I dial back my mind to why the Shout began and where my whole passion for social responsibility and involvement came, it was being brought up in a time where Nelson Mandela was alive and made the ultimate sacrifice and showed the ultimate example of what we should be as South Africans. So we like to believe we're continuing his legacy by, you know, even 100 years after his birth, still trying to be Mandela-esque and coming to communities like this and opening libraries to help educate children.
11 years ago, Kabelo Mabelane and Danny Kaye created the Shout for a Safer South Africa to tackle issues of crime after the passing of South African reggae musician Lucky Dube.
Through our learnings when we started out, we realized that, in dealing with crime, we've got to deal with the causes of crime and not only the symptoms. So education, lack of education rather, is one of the big causes of crime. So we hung our hat on that revelation, if you will, and we thought it best, to impact young minds. These are the guys that the perpetrators are already perpetrators, so let's deal with young minds. Let's try, cause young minds to think differently, create a platform where they can think differently. And books we just felt are a great conduit to kind of what we want to do.
This is something we're very committed to, and it's our life's passion of trying to build as many libraries as we can across South Africa.
From the first day I met them and I bought into the vision, they just excited you about this opportunity. And when they tell you about so many primary schools, so many gates, less than 10% of primary schools do not have libraries, and you think back the privileged life that you've lived, and you just say, listen, I have to try and make a difference, and that's where it started. And it started all of the Shout Burger and raising funds, and now at least through Rounder and the Nikela Trust, we've been able to make it an everyday thing, and hopefully we're going to build many, many, many more.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Ambassador Anati, also spent his 67 minutes of Mandela in his hometown celebrating the opening of this library.
It's Lapepai in Eastern Cape, and it feels so good to be back home, even though I'm from Ebrisho. Just the energy around here. We're just trying to spread positivity, spread love amongst the youth, and bring the vibes.
See now you and me, there ain't no lies that keep to our destiny. If only you could see the power that lies inside you, what you could be. We gotta believe.
The first time I worked with Shout was a few years ago. We recorded the Shout campaign song at our studio. I worked with Danny Kaye and Kabelo, just to become part of the whole family, just giving back to South Africa. And really just, spreading the love, making sure that kids are educated and they're reading and they're literate, that's what it's about.
I'm happy of the library because this is gonna change now. Izabalula ngokuyizinto sisafuna ngayo library umzekelo mhlawumbe xa sinikwa ii-projects sizoqonda apha elibrary.
Ndicinga uba ilibrary izasinceda senze ii-homework zethu xa sinikwe ii-project.
Hola Shapuzet Bafetu, Kina Kabelo Mabalani.
Kina Danny Kaye.
And you watching Trends on SABC News.
Stay there.
It's you and me. Shout it out, say we gon' shout it out.
Well, that's all we have for this segment. But before we do, we're going to play out to break with a performance from the Protea Glen Boys and Girls Club that will be performing, of course, next week at the International Marimba and Steelpan Festival in Boksburg. Take it away.
I'm sorry, I know this letter's a little late.
But I already wrote it, so I'm sending it anyway. I should drop it off myself and tip the bouncer at heaven's gates. Maybe he'll let me in and I'll read it out to your face. I saw your picture trending, I got excited. Then I saw hashtag RIP and I just couldn't like it. I woman like you was timeless, but sadly not immortal. Got you to add an extra day for every human that you fought for. So many memories just rolling down my eyes. And if I wipe them off, I might forget the better times. I mean, they're all over my face, there's no place for them to hide. Emotions on child lock, I can't open up from inside, but I'm trying. My dad spoke a lot about you, I remember. The media too, but I like my father's version better. He got so poetic. I met like Kanye when he said it. He spoke about your grace, your beauty, it made my mom jealous. Y'all resemble each other. So blessed, so perfect, so unreal, so worth it. You great things deserving, multitasking. How are you a queen and servant? You can afford to pay respect, cause first you earned it. You didn't see black and white, you saw the colors of equality, the shades of democracy. You paint over the poverty. Your artistry is so in tune with modesty and honesty. Those are the same ideas that polished me. I try to keep this letter short. I know you must be busy having dinner with the Lord while my D was watching sports. Did he miss you? I'm sure it feels like your first date. Is he happy to have you home for his 100th birthday? I should probably leave now. I should let you get some rest. Put your feet up and de-stress. And don't worry about us, because of you we struggle less. Still not free, but we are blessed. Still too black, but nonetheless human. And may your kids be taken care of. May they live as long as you. You raised the rest of us a while. I hope they got to know you too. I hope you read this letter for the other icons in the room. We never got the chance to say we love them too. 2nd of April and the great show ends. And you can spread your little angel wings, added to the age-old list of the greatest who ever graced the earth. How does it feel to give a nation birth? Goodbye.
Tembisa born all-round creative Thabo Mahloele, better known as Touchline in the rap game, has dropped another tribute song. When Mama Winnie Mandela passed on, he did a fresh and flexible flow in honor of the struggle icon. Now, in celebration of the legacy of Utata Nelson Mandela, he jumped in the studio again and did another fiery track. Welcome to Trends.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm Nansharp. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Tell us a bit about what is it with you and doing tribute songs?
Well, I always feel like, you know, commemorate abantu, important kakhulu, especially when you look at what they've done for like the country, especially. It's not all about just tributes. It's just, you know, paying homage to like, yo, siyanibona, and we siyanibonga also at the same time. So it's not about doing a tribute, but just commemorating. You know, always, you know, you've done a lot for us.
That says a lot about your writing skill, because this is not something that you can think about for a long time. It's something that you just jump in the studio and do. Tell us a bit about the creative process of how you make your music.
I'm always trying to capture every moment as it is. For instance, I can write about my experience with you interviewing me, but I want to do it at this moment. So immediately after I leave, I want to go write about my experience. And I feel like it's always natural and it's always like organic, and people can hear the realness in it. So the creative process is not too complicated or complex. It's just a matter of documenting your life right now. So in the same way, when Mama Winnie passed away, I felt the pain at the moment and I jumped into studio. So it's that kind of thing.
And you've been doing a lot in the creative space, because that's why I said you're a creative all-rounder, not just a musician, because you've done music, you've done, what is it, dance before. Tell us a bit about that. What happened there? Because you were in a competition. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, dancing. That was, I danced once for Kerry Hilson, which was in the country.
That's super dope, eh?
I've also won like the biggest dance competition in Africa. It was called Masters of Rhythm. I did it with a crew called Freeze Frame, where I used to dance. Won a few other competitions.
Do you still dance?
Hardly, you know, hardly. But I'm trying to go back, you know, because it's part of the art, like you said, you know, creative all-round. So I want to put that into my music also in a certain way.
But when you did, was it dancing like the crumping days?
It was the crumping days. It was
So do you think you would be adding on more of the crumping styles into your new music?
I think I need to do some jogs around the block first. But definitely, you know, not crumping per se, but like, you know, a little bit of hip hop dancing, you know, maybe some when it comes on, you know.
Where on the streets is that you're underground? Like, when are you surfacing up and dropping music that is commercial?
It's so weird because like I'm not underground at all, you know.
Okay.
I've currently got a song playing on radio right now that is doing very, very well. And it's a love song, you know.
Okay.
And
you
people
put romance in.
a little bit of it,
Okay.
you know. But people on Twitter are always like checking me out, and they think because of like how complex my writing is, they feel like that's what I do. And I always tell people like, don't limit me to just a writer, because then I'll be writing books, you know. I'm an actual musician. I listen to melody, I express melody, and it's not only about ukbala, you know.
So by underground, they'd be meaning that it's more like deep music rather than what people are used to hearing on the radio. Ne?
Exactly. But this is something that I take upon my shoulders. I want to break that because people feel like they really need to dumb down to get onto radio. But what I'm starting to notice is that people are hungry for information, hungry for education and knowledge. So if you speak about that, there is a definite market for that. So I'm trying to make sure I also feed those people, you know. That's very important for me.
Okay, so when are you dropping your album and where can we find you?
September. Definitely, September.
Okay.
You know, Tembisa love, because we're Tembisa. I don't know where you're from, but don't hate on my hood.
No, I'm not
know?
hating. I can never hate, you know.
Of course. But like, we're Tembisa, so I want to call it Tembisa love. September, definitely my birthday month.
Okay.
And people can find me on Twitter as at Touchline Truth, at Touchline_Truth. That's on Instagram. Touchline Punchline on Facebook. You know, so yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah.
You're deep. So today you're gonna be performing a song that you did in tribute to Tata Nelson Mandela. Tell us a bit about that, and actually just take it away when you're done with that.
Right. It's called 18 July. I actually wrote it on 18 July. That's 2 days ago, right? Yeah. You know, I just felt like, you know what? Let me just jump in the studio and just say what I felt about like my deeps, you know, at the time. So
we can't wait to hear what you felt about Madeeps. But that's all we have on today's show. Do find me same time, same place, right here on the SABC News platform. For myself and the TRENDZ team, it's a goodbye from us. Take it away, Touch.
Let's go. Let's do it like this one time. Touchline, July 18th. Madeeps. Umuntu omnyama kaya phambili inkululeko impumelelo asifuke scan estrategy. That's what Ubaba fought for ngenkathi zakhe saphila. No Marikana or Sharpeville, let's rather shoot for the stars till those kind of bullets do not kill. The township violence, a sting on my alarm when we get woken up by sirens. And for my deeper notes, they steal a car and rob an island. But I know they would trade that life for a job if they could find it. I swear we taught us from those biblical days. 27 years in prison, only Joseph could relate. His coat was colorful, you had a rainbow nation on display. 67 minutes, not about the blackest we donate. That's choosing love over hate, trading average for great. Like how bright is your brain, not how light is your face. It goes from Cairo to Cape, you train yourself the whole way. I've got the spirit of an iconic say. I got my diva in me. I'm puma kwan and tuan and pillar my poop. But giving up is not the thing that I do. I got my diva in me. I'm shifting blame, I know it starts within me. Nyazu chincho long let's spilling. I got my diva in me. I know hope, I know love, I know dreaming, I know change, I know victory and freedom. I got my diva in me. Ikani party speaking in the moyen. Svesu tandos little tool in that way. I got my diva in me.
I am the product of Africa and along the cherished dream of a rebirth that can now be realized so that all of the children may play in the sun. The long walk continues.
I got my diva in me. I'm puma kwan and tuan and pillar my poop. But giving up is not the thing that I do. I got my diva in me. I'm shifting blame, I know it starts within me.